Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sicily, Crusader Kings 3 series here on the Lord Master channel, in which this will be the last episode to feature the long-lined ruler Sawdan of the Maori Emirates. As he is 76 years old, he's infirm, he's in poor health despite all the efforts to try to make him as healthy as possible, but eventually old age does catch up to you, and eventually he will pass on, and the realm will be split into 3 Emirates, which is what he would have wanted for all of his sons to at least have a piece of, or pieces, of his lands, in which he had helped make it prosper, and make areas better and all that, despite the fact that currently it's being a bit hindered by development due to the colonization phase, but not under his watch though. He will try to keep it together for as long as he can. We still make a great amount of fortune, but most of that fortune will go to the most developed territories in and around Salerno. Because we know that Salerno is the jewel of southern Italy, as far as we're concerned. Although it will not match the glory of Rome, although maybe perhaps that one day that Salerno might outshine Rome in terms of development. But that can only be done if, I mean, obviously Salerno does have the same number of castles, city, and temple over there. But there's still a lot of potential in this land, which would one day be the most prosperous of all of Italia. Which is all the more reasons why that as of this time there is a large visible minority of Siculo-Arabs who are also Muslim in addition to being Christians, because some Siculo-Arabs are Christians. Trying to increase the majority of the Muslim faithful, and do the same to spread Siculo-Arabic culture there, as they do exist as a large minority there, but no Muslims there, just only Siculo-Arabs culturally. Same could be said over there. Again, just doing it for the Emir of Salerno, which is expected to be, you know, the land where Stephanos will inherit all. So, out of the partition of this realm, it is Stephanos ibn Sawdan will be the breadwinner, one would think. And hopefully that his sons would govern well. But until then, each time we raise funds, more structures are to be built. More, and more. Versus cattle pastures will be built there in a few months' time. Well, 2 months' time, actually. We only wanted things to benefit the realm. So we don't know how long Sawdan will be around. Either within months or a few more years before he finally passes on. So, shall see. Hold on. As I did some thinking in my head in regards to, look, let's review this, alright? No, not through here. I named Stephanos as the favorite child which is to remind you viewers, what is that new feature there? So, a favorite child is a direct descendant of the same dynasty that a player ruler could choose to favor. They will have a higher opinion of you, and when you die, you could choose to continue your legacy as them instead of your heir, or in this case, one of the other heirs in partition. Your favorite child could be any children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren for as long as they are in your dynasty. And that is the reason why that some of you would prefer, a harmonious level house unity. Instead, I'm going for antagonistic because the cash spell cost, in addition, is cheaper, and the advantage up in case of hostilities. I was just replying text. Unlimited access to the base cast spell line. And require one specific level of fame less. Because one would think that with these rulers there, that perhaps one day they could strike back against Italy for taking this part of it, which is all because, as we say again, Capua allied with Italy and used that to vassalize, offer vassalization or swore fealty, either way. That's why they joined up. And same thing for Amalfi. They too also joined because they're Catholic. Salerno may possibly fall in line too. So this puts us in a dangerous situation when the realm splits, and I cannot attack Italy, as we fought them previously in a frontier raid. The truce will last for 4 years, and obviously Sawdan will not be around in 4 years' time. It's only which of the strongest of the sons are to rule. That is the question that will be answered in some time. And indeed I will. Because I got little years left to live, so just go out how you want. And by the way, we are currently in the colonization phase. News has reached my court about recent political developments in France. The ruler there, Emperor Louis, has granted the Ducas of Normandy to a northern warlord named Dusbude. How do you say his name? For years, Scandinavian pirates have ravaged the French coastline. To resolve this crisis, Louis wants to use him and his warriors as a bulwark against his brethren. Meanwhile, Lulu gets to rule over a sizable territory and settle his people there. Already, the Northmen are beginning to mingle and adopt the customs of the older Latin population, forming a new Normans cult people in the process. It is one thing to be given a territory, and another to control it effectively. This is still a hinterland region, after all. One can only wonder what the fate of and Normandy would do. I'm sure they have quite the destiny. So now, the consolidation of Normandy struggle begins, which is an entirely separate thing. Which one day I would like to do a video series on that from the Norman perspective. Would love to do that video series one day. So now, all Norman and Francois counties and characters in northern France becomes Normans. The Ducas of Normandy is renamed to Normandy. So now there's a struggle region over there. Did Normandy, with respect and Ragi's poetry. So I guess Rollo failed and someone else has to do it. So there's the consolidation of Normandy, which contributed some struggle and all those things. And that particular culture does have its own set of traditions. Ruling caste, standard fight, chanson de audacious cadets, experienced whalers, and legacy of the Northmen. Which again, would love to do the series on that one more day. And that reminds me, for looking at the cultural traditions there. There is room for one tradition, so we should reform the Siculo-Arabic. Reform the Siculo-Arabic culture. In case I might have misspoke. One second. So, obviously, we need something that kind of, appeals to us. So, I mean, thankfully I'm the culture head these days. It's interesting we can take up Byzantine traditions, as we're still ruling over areas that is Greek cultured, where their influence is still strong, even though Byzantium no longer has a presence there. Would like to have these because they are effective heavy infantry that fights against spearmen and other heavy infantry. Would love to have that. But keep thinking. Roman ceremonies. Hold a triumph. Chariot race. Child born ruler of holding the Byzantine Empire, which obviously won't be doing that, so that doesn't matter. Administrative emperors, not going to matter. Anything that's administrative, it doesn't matter. But having that tradition as simply, hey, let's hold a triumph and host a chariot race. But is that for empire only? I know it's an activity, but is it exclusive if you're of empire tier ruler? Or is it available for anybody? Palace politics over here. Varangian guards as men-at-arms. Spearmen and heavy cavalry. That'll definitely, like if we are threatened by Greek cataracts, this one can take it down with ease as an alternative to using pikemen. When holding that title of Byzantine Empire, which obviously that won't happen. Place bodyguard, blind, castrate, eunuchs. Ambitious is more common. Physically disfigured and infertile prince cannot claim. Withdraw from view. Influence. Again, that won't matter if you're of, unless you have the Byzantine Empire title. I mean, Roman ceremonies just for charities. Hold on, let me look it up. I'm looking it up by other means in regards to activity, chariot race. Like, I think it's available for empires only, correct? Let me see. Yeah, it's only available for emperors, so you can't do that as a duke or a king. So, basically none of these, except maybe those, but there's a problem with that one, with Imperial Taberna. Lowering our knight effectiveness while men-at-arms, counter efficiency up. Size of title men-at-arms regiments, that's if you're of administrative realm. Max size of heavy cavalry regiments, which we don't really have access to, so we'll just say none of these Byzantine Greek, traditions, because this would be well out of our way from this, unless you're the title holder itself. But that's not. But that would go against what this series stands for. Marburizon is a high candidate, despite the fact that having a desert warrior tree would be fine, but we don't live in the desert. Italy has no deserts. Slightly pointless, but Marburizon, however, does not have special terrain effects, so it doesn't matter where they fight. But they're better than the regular heavy infantry, and can defeat against other heavy infantry. So that's a strong candidate. Mountain herding, which is something that the Amazighs have. I mean, we have that men-at-arms, which we haven't really expanded that much. Good against light cavalry and heavy infantry. Good at fighting in mountains, but there's not too many mountains in southern Italy. rough terrain expert will also be nice, but also desert warrior commander is another thing. Again, Marlborough is a strong candidate. It's just we need something that's more warfare related. And basing on what this situation may turn out to be as the realm splits, and the Siculo-Arabic culture will become a bit more isolated, we feel. Isn't that something that the Longobards have? No, that's martial admiration. Martial admiration. Look for that. I think that falls upon somewhere else. So. Well, this is similar to martial admiration, the Bedouin honor code. We already have refined poetry, random. There's martial admiration. It costs much, much less. So martial education traits are more valued. Knights are more prone. Injury resistance, prowess, more knights, which is something that's badly needed because how we won our wars besides using Sicilian hosts is that we've been using our Furuzan, particular ones, those that fight more effectively. So that's another good candidate here. So somewhere down the line, I would also like to get religion blending, because obviously you're in an area where it's home to various faiths. Greek, Orthodox, Catholicism, and Islam. But you need vassals of my culture that follows a different faith, so that's kind of slightly hard to get. Unless, well, oh no, there are easier ways, but still. But ultimately, I think we should get the Marborism. Modeled after the legendary champions of the Rashidun army, Marborism soldiers are trained to excel in both formation fighting as well as single combat. Although they're a bit more effective in desert fighting if we were to have desert warrior commander traits and all that. Maybe preferably if we were fighting in expeditionary wars down in North Africa to help out some friends down there. They would be used effectively. But around here we just need stronger heavy infantry, because we only have those via expeditionary hosts and we don't get too much of those, and we would love to have some of that of our own, so we'll go for this. Establish that tradition, which will take 5 years, and then in the early medieval era I'll pick up what's it called, martial admiration in future. So, right, we've took nearly 20 minutes of our time here, so let's get going to live for the last days of Sawdan's life before the realm splits, while a new cultural tradition will be adapted. As my second grows up, becomes paired to my child is shrewd. At 6 years old. Good on you, girl. She's shrewd. +2 on every skill, except prowess. Made a large majority there. Large minority there. Now, do the same for my Siculo. One second, I'll read the text in a moment. I'm trying to reply to a friend on text. I don't know how to spell that word, so I'll reply later. Anyways, I've heard rumors about slander some Muslim adventurers, traveling scholars, and pilgrims have said about my rule and my territories in Sicily, although they should all respect me, honestly. I'm a long-line ruler. Some of these people, it appears, have disparaged myself and my people as having poor knowledge of the true faith, of mingling too much with heretics and infidels, and, well, being frankly ignorant and sinful in general. Such words are lies, of course. I've no doubt there are misunderstandings based on how, in a frontier like Sicily, where there are many different peoples and influences, but one has to be careful dealing with unbelievers of other faiths in order to promote a harmonious society. But knowing him, he'll say, it is no weakness, just pragmatism and humility. Look where it got us. Look where it got us. So we'll gain 50 prestige and 8 trade experience in Latin and Greek worlds. Well, particularly the Latin one. Just wanted to get that up a bit as 37. I mean, it would be nice to start with the Latins a bit more. So for historical context, listen here, people. Some medieval Christian and Muslim sources describe their co-religionists in Sicily in disparaging terms, due to perceived religious intolerance or lack of spiritual conviction and knowledge. For instance, the 10th century Muslim scholar and traveler Ibn Haqqal describes Muslim Sicilians in very unflattering terms. They are, in his opinion, stupid, greedy, and too eager to mix and intermarry with Christians. He also derided Muslim Sicilian scholars for supposedly forgetting the basic principles of Islam. Later on, in the 13th century, Emperor Frederick II of the Holy Roman Empire, who grew up in Sicily and had his base of power there. He was called a baptized sultan. Some Christians and Muslims believed he was a secret Muslim due to his connections to the Islamic world and a knowledge of Arabic and Islam. In the wild frontier region like Sicily, some degree of tolerance, or at least a willingness to engage with other worlds, was necessary for survival. However, outsiders who did not understand this complex situation would often view such pragmatism with suspicion, and even as signs of moral failings and apostasy. There's no weakness. It's not just us, but Greeks helped build this Emirate too. Hey, build that building. And for God's sakes, don't go no tournament. Don't go no tournament. Man, you are starting to lose your marbles a little. You're so infirm you can't even speak, right? No longer the physician. Old age. Anybody good? Average. Oh, don't forget he was the Antiquarian too. Well then, get me someone. Plus it costs less to hire a physician now since I have that perk. And no longer the seneschal. Also of old age. Pay you 20. Your sheep. Physician and herbalist. Excellent. All the good people are passing away. As my Hassan grows up and becomes a parent to my child, is disloyal. He's the one that's to inherit Gravina. I am so disappointed. Wow, the old berserker gets to be the seneschal. Well, actually, Stephanos, you should be the seneschal. Job pays well, you know. Brewmaster. I didn't know we were allowed to appoint a court brewmaster. The court brewmaster is a representative chosen to interact directly with the brewers of the realm to ensure the liege can get their hands on the best of brews. So what that does is just decrease the prestige based on aptitude. Feast costs are reduced and feast rewards are increased. Okay. And we have someone who's excellent. This Siculo-Arabic man here. You get to be the brewmeister. And as the brewmaster, there's regular duties. We can also do empty the cellars, which increases popular opinion. Ah, that'll be useful to put down potential, you know, peasant revolts. Share with the court, which increases courtier and guest opinion. And finally, experimental brew, which when you start, you gain 50 prestige and you gain an I gain an experimental brew for 6 months, and will be changed every 6 months. So, I wonder if they can make me a brew that may start a long life. Not them talking about immortality, but I mean a big health boost. Give it a try. So, okay. So this is just one for +1 prowess for the next 5 months, but bear in mind, it will be changed every 6 months, so we'll be seeing these pop up until I see something that I like, but it's only temporary. It doesn't cost much. And for what little we can, make some cultural fascination progress, as I'm the cultural head here. Because we want to go more towards Ledger. Be like those Longobards. There should be a stables there. Build stables there. We just need more funds to build it. He died of pneumonia. Oh, good. You've had quite a number of children. In his future, he's going to have a lot more. This character recently learned some techniques on how to swim in various bodies of water in order to reduce the dangers of drowning, such as drowning by water. Good for you. Anyways, building a hunter's lodge. Unless we already built that there. But nevertheless, we lost a good steward. But we have a much better one. That would get it up in a hurry. Now where were we? Stables. Have it built. Just need 2 more. Boom, got it. The old generation is passing on. The old generation that I belong to. I'm outliving them. Well, it doesn't matter. Realm's gonna split anyway, so point your best ones. don't build that there. Outposts would be good to have, because that increases the hunting sighting chance there, because we're using Tecarico as the main hunting grounds. Build lookout towers here to track animals and incoming raids. The series of lookouts are manned by vigilant guardsmen. If a dangerous beast spotted, it doesn't take long for word to spread so that vulnerable cattle can be hurried to safety. Alam is intelligent, but unfortunately, he does not get to inherit anything. Does not have the months. Okay, fair enough. Stephanos ibn Sawdan. Glorious Apulian Forest Ale I got. What does it give me? Stress loss. Okay. Keep at it then. But bear in mind, the Brewmaster has an excellent aptitude, so there's just no chance that he could screw something up. I'm doing the same. I'm making you my personal champion. Even though it'll be short-lived, knowing that I'm going to pass on soon. I'm simply doing it just to give this boy some money, so he can start off with some gold that he'll have before he begins his rule of Salerno, for the Emirate of Salerno. The hour is late, and yet I can see a flicker of light coming from the next room, where the door has been left ajar. I gently push the door open and find my guide, Kurillos, with heavy eyes, bent over an open ledger. Another stack of ledgers stand next. Liv sent a notice to my presence. Oh, forgive me, my lord. I've started to sort out these latest tax accounts. Allow me to help. They'll look at me more positively. Zenon, heir to Conversano, which has a Siculo-Arabic majority there, though still Christian. Despite being curious, child me good one, Zenon's head drifted elsewhere as he grew older. Hardly today at least managed to memorize certain choice quotes from the classics. He'll probably never write any great theorems, but he might read one or two. He grows up fast as he's an insightful thinker. You know what? Let's save up the money to assemble these states of the realm. Once we're up at 125, we'll get it up there. We're finally implementing that, just to benefit every single one. In a dusty corner of the library, I find a tome bound in letter and inscribed strange symbols, partially hidden behind other books. It is old, but it's clearly reads. As I leaf through it, I quickly come to the realization that it deals some unconventional knowledge. Heresy. Alternative to the Imams. Where was I going? Why did I come in here? I could have sworn. Right. I was looking for something. Was it urgent? I had to get back to someone. Quickly. Next week. Yes, I think so. Aha! There it is! That's what I wanted. I need that for what was I thinking of? My mind isn't as fast as it once was. Like I was earlier. One more month and then we will assemble the estates of the realm to help improve all these lands for the children to inherit. Black market constructed. Let's do it. Can some of the different social factions on their own in order to attempt to construct the policy agenda over the long term. Chance of success depends positively on my skills higher than 11 and negatively on my skills lower than 8. Well, obvious is obvious, so well, I should be fine. Organize the whole damn affair. Mustafa. He was with me since the time during the pilgrimage to the Hajj in Mecca. I remember. Keep it. Where do you think you're going? Pilgrimage. Alexandria. Orthodox. Holy site, no doubt. What timing? Because I was drinking some water and then that event pops up. Hot, hot, hot. I was drinking some herbal tea that was meant to be good for one's health. However, I drank a little too fast and burnt my tongue in front of everyone, which led me to spill my tea on my clothes. That in turn led to minor burns on my skin. It's one of those days, isn't it? Oh, tiny penalty. Mild burns from tea. That may cost me my life here, since I'm so delicate these days. If I die within this year, blame the tea. My hostage, Louis, is now a man, and looking forward to being sent home as his custom. His uncle, Imperator Augustus Louis, will be certainly hoping as such. I, however, must look to the interests of my own house. You could stay a while longer, for the prestige. To the very end. 137. As much as needed. Apulian mead, plus 1 learning. Just something that, I would like to have something that could give me a small health boost. As these states of Rome were assembled, it soon became clear discussions were going on and on about any significant breakthroughs. Everyone was entrenched in their own positions, and the ability to compromise was almost nil. It was also apparent that I was unable to steer and lead the discussions in order to present a more positive result. All in all, it was a frustrating affair where nothing truly relevant was accomplished. It was all for naught. All that money. Small minorities there. And then cargo will be next. Ahmed. You claim to learn the lessons about not reaching for more than one can handle. The air of Toronto. Temperate, yes. Overreaching can be truly dangerous. TT, my daughter. Oh, no. No incest here. None of that shit. Holy letter. My recent endeavors within the realm of theology have given me a great appreciation for Allah's representatives on earth. Trying to express some of these feelings, I'll draft a letter to the Caliph, Abdallah. I sit down with the scribe. Together we craft a truly splendid letter, highlighting his, well, he's a fearless villain, they say. So I'll say his relentless courage. We'll see how he takes it. Your letters much appreciated. Your insight into the realm of Allah as well as the nature of man is astounding. Praise God. Praise Allah, you should say. To be real frank. Small stables constructed. Can be upgraded. Much fun. Almost there, just 6 more months. And see if we can upgrade that further. Always with the tournaments. Does nobody invite me to feasts? Because I would be there. 2 tournaments? Tournaments, yeah. I'm engaging at my dearest Canwa. Still around, huh? In our usual pillow talk, wrapping her lovely hair around my fingers. Do you love my hair so, my little firebrand? Perhaps you should carry with you always as you go about your duties as Emir. So then everyone will see you and I are one. I thought she was joking, but it quickly becomes apparent that she truly intends me to wear her hair as an accessory for all to see. Sawdan with the tress. Is that gonna be his legacy, what he would be remembered for? I mean, after all, out of all the wives that he's married, he never loved anyone more than Kenwa. Heck, it even says it on the armor that he wears, that it's dedicated to her. So I think we'll say, I will wear it till I die. We'll pick up the loyalty, which ups the diplomacy a bit more. The lieges, with the liege opinion, will go up, even though that's for vassals. So he'll be remembered as a loyal man with the trust. Swooning romantics around will talk of how you never go anywhere without cutting your own lover's hair. For some time now, it's been mentioned across several meetings in different places around about the need to enact significant justice reforms in order to pave the way for smoother trade environment and better overall security in the provinces. If I'll didn't commit myself with this line of thought, fearful of the potential drain my coffers could suffer, I started creating the expectation this reform would go forward. Now, in close collaboration between my council and my vassals, a proper document with full expenses calculated is on the table and everyone's looking at me to sign it. Oh my God! I could cajole everyone to forgetting this matter. Because, the problem is, I'm a bit gregarious, so I'll try this option. It says, no, I'm not spending my money on that. That would ruin the whole nation's economy. Right. And this is cultural fascination progress plus, well, 1%. Huh. I didn't know a brew could make you do that. If you're the cultural head. Ermengarde, you've been here since forever. And though you are my friend, you're no longer my hostage, but honestly, you should stay here. Because you're a friend of mine. Because you're used to being here more than any other. Kratos has been performing exceptionally well today, and so an opportunity says allow me to greatly guide and influence his work for his favorable future. Perhaps there's an opportunity for him to further enhance his skills. Well, you are the marshal, so it would make sense to say range guard patrols. That will keep the vassals in line. Arab-Berber dominance has taken over the Greeks, and Emir Sawdan's spirit has flown to heaven at the age of 78 years of age. He died of old age, a hollow shell of his former self. He had long lost his wits by the time of his final passing. So now, over in Bari, the Emir Eugenios ascends to the throne. Being a talented military tactician, many expect him to the realm of many victories on the field of battle. So, just a moment. Sawdan ruled for 41 years, actually 51 years if you count his earlier years past. So, that man, he was the cultural head, exalted among men, religious icon. He was the architect, fought in 10 wars, 5 offensive, 5 defensive. Hosted 14 activities, 3 hunts, 3 inspections, 3 grand tournaments, an HSL monument examination, shade tree, university, pilgrimage, grand tour. And he attended 5 tournaments, so that's a total of 8 tournaments he participated in. So we should choose a new destiny. Play as a cadet is not of your air. Let me look at it. Yeah. Remember, the path we attended is to go to Stephanos. He's ruler of foreign lands, more skillful than Air holds press claims. We said that he's the breadwinner. So, therefore we will continue as Emir Stephanos of Salerno. And was the favorite child. I was designated him as such. So instead, the story begins here. And with that, he takes his leave from Bari to go rule over in Salerno. His caravan master is a Gudaliva in Longobard, bringing extra cattle and hire hunters just to get there a bit faster, though travel will be dangerous. Meanwhile, as the story begins for Stephanos, as we pass through the market in Bitonto, we hear a loud yell coming from the corner behind one of the stalls, where a group of people are watching 2 men fight. As we get closer, one of them is lifted by the other and tossed several feet away, followed by the crowd cheering and money-changing hands. Who's next? The man yells to the crowd. His eyes scan the crowd, then they land on a group. His face splits to malicious grin as he looks at us. Stefano, the giant, the Sicilian. 1 second. He's taken to the path of gallantry. So, shall go with that. I'll say, I will do it. 53% chance that I win the duel, 46% chance that I lose the duel. I win the duel and got the 40 gold. And as I'm on my way, a council must be assembled. Ah, hell. I don't know if I could trust you. But perhaps you could be swayed. In fact, you're the first person that I'm gonna persuade to. Because, you know, an unhappy council is no good to nobody. After all, I'm a deceitful person. And also short reign. And my legitimacy is rightful ruler. But just wait until I arrive. My rule's just started. And I get to rule all of these lands myself. But I'll be there in a few days. Hang on. Conversion stopped. We'll have a look at it in a moment. This morning we asked for directions towards our next destination from one of the locals passing by on the road in Volterra. Not sure how this should have. We are lost, in other words. These directions we were trying to follow, were they bad directions to begin with, or do we just misunderstand them? Maybe we should go that way? gain stress because I'm diligent. Stopped here in Milfy. Visited the university here, giving me some martial. At long last, I'm finally home. My new home. But, you know, technically he is home, because he was born in Salerno. He was born in Salerno, but raised in Bari. So, yes. The realm is now split into 3 parts. We need to hire some competent people. As my rule has begun. Oh yeah. We're in the need for some talent. So let's raise some money a bit before we continue on. Oh, first things first. Tourism. And apparently we got a bunch of Sicilian archers now. The descendants of Arabs and Berbers who settled in Sicily are commonly employed as soldiers in the armies of local warlords, particularly as archers who harass and terrify their foes. So they're an improvement to the regular archers, as they do have the ability to pursue and to screen them. They do well in hills, forests, drylands, and plains. And we have the siege weapons as well, these contortion catapults. Yeah, terrible mufti. But I don't think we can, you know, no, we don't have that. Although the first person you must sway is her. And of course the house head is Eugenios, as he's the eldest. He wants to go towards Harmonious, which is fair for him. And also that makes him the culture head as well, which he does own areas that's Siculo-Arabic, but that may change in future. Can't do that. No fancy dreams here. We got someone who's got good stewardship. Come on in. But we already have some. We just simply want good fighting men to join us for the defense of our realm. Oh, what have you done? You turned the entirety against you! If you lose this war, Calabria, led by Tiberius, will take over. What did you do? Everyone's turned against you. And if you ask me for an alliance, I am not bailing you out. No. We must consolidate here. Wally Xenon has been captured as prisoner of war by Eugenios. He won his first battle. But I believe she kept well in mind that he inherited the expeditionary forces. Because the Greek troops that fought alongside him, they stood down in succession. But the expeditionary forces, they don't stand down. They'll be inherited. So he might be able to defend himself if he can. regarding her personal safety. I've been trying to sway you, but my opinion towards you goes up, not your opinion towards me. The bustling of an inn, a fine cider, a calm evening after a long day of training. My tankard is knocked out of my hand by a mercenary reeling from a blow, and all hope of relaxation drains away to the floor of my cider. Please, my lord, the innkeeper begs. All these thugs have been drinking me dry without paying for days. And the fighting is scaring the staff and guests. In just this local county here. Or Overhaul. They are too drunk to be a real threat. This will be over quickly. So I not only expunge the bandits here, but I have the permanent effect that I'll be respected by mercenaries. I mean, we are a weak realm compared to neighboring Italy, so it's cheaper to hire mercenaries now, in case, for times like these. Half-brother released. See? Look. 15,000 strong. They still have the good soldiers. And, married to Eugenius. Saw value in you. Originally I had hoped for that one day that, you know, if you weren't married I would have invited you to court. To serve me. That would require some persuasion and all that. Oh my lord, hold on. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, wondering why I just made that little noise like that, because the recording just got interrupted by a bee. Believe it or not, it was a bee that was in my room, and I was able to get it. So, anyways, press on. Just wait a bit, get more fighting men to join our court, and subsequently hire a physician, well, if I need to travel, I'll get a caravan master, and people of other talents. And finally, those regimental clearings are finished. Siculo-Arabic peasants moved from Salerno to Siculo. Did it on its own. Nice. Oh my goodness. How much it costs these days. Control growth around here would be excellent for times like these. 280! We still have the effects of it. Anyways, we can manage frontier. When does that modifier expire? 9/12. No need to reset that yet. $50, $50, $50. We're not from. Well, we need to get the Arab-Berbers up if we want to recruit more soldiers there. So I suggest that you start doing these practices. To either attract A bit more tax income would suffice. So, now in this chaotic frontier, Sicily, good administrative records can be hard to come by. They could get lost, destroyed, or altered in dubious ways. It's important for my officials to periodically update bureaucratic records from our territories in Sicily, from wills to property deeds, to purchases of valuables and more. My Wazir Bada is helping with this effort and recommends that we use either Latin, Greek, or Arab-Berber records in this region to assist us in our efforts in order to be more efficient. Rely on Arab-Berber records this time. So each passing year, a small chance that we'll gain trade experience from that particular one. So this is just to increase the holding taxes a bit more. That's what we're doing at this time. Because every little bit helps. Come on in. Any other guests I might have missed? Vikrama Chola. The Chola are perhaps one of the longest ruling dynasties in the world. It is said that they were in power back in the 3rd century BC, but during the time of the Maurya and Alexander's conquests of the Achaemenid Empire. While the surrounding dynasties rose and fell for power, the Chola were quietly ruling the rich valleys of the Godavari River. However, on Chakravartigal, Vikrama has decided that now the time is right to unify southern India, turn the region into a longest lasting center of influence. I have my doubts. So while turmoil takes place, here is a stable frontier. Well, for the most part. Attract immigrants to Sicily. Hus. Arabic. Good. Our people. Ahmed. Oh, back when you were a little child, I always cherished those days, says my mother, Kenwa. She's still in Bari. Fun about that. Everyone comes rushing back. I know that my mother held a deep devotion to me, and while my father Sawdan lived, he too loved me fiercely. He helped me take the first steps. He'd accepted my milk tube of his own hand. It's too late to thank him, though. My gratitude only goes to those of my mother now. Says, I'll pass the loving care to my children whenever I have it. So, there's two outcomes. He agrees with me or wants something in return. In which would be, we took a mysterious wine bottle to a nearby village to see if any locals knew anything about it. One of the elders at poor eyesight says she knew about it. She inspects bottle and says, my eyes may not see well, but I recognize a symbol in this bottle. It is Shadow Banished Wine. After I ask her to elaborate, the elder explains that as a little girl, her grandfather told her an alchemist from generations ago who dabbled in alcohol making. His ordered legendary recipe to create a wine provided with the power that could easily peer through the darkness such as night for such a short time. Last, the ingredients to make this wine so rare that he only made a few bottles of his wine. Wants something in return. Uh-huh. Strong hook. On me. It is a loyalty hook. Wish I could tell her to come over, but that will not do, unless I have a hook on her. Even from afar, Mother still has it over me. Glad to have that permanent modifier here. That reminds me. Despite the ongoing war, I have the right to bury my father in an extravagant ceremony. So, yeah, that'll be the way. Yes, that would be the way. Because despite the chaos that's going on in the Emirate of Bari, I guess I have the right to bury my father, who lived up till he's 78, to say that I am the keeper of my father's body, in which he thought fondly of Salerno. Give it a moment. Bury them in his mosque here, but I believe it is only right to do it here. A city that he cared so much and invested a lot of money into. Cared a lot about it. These are the two bodyguards who guarded me my life. Also giving you that. Time to find a physician in the meantime. Oh, and tax collector too. Malik. And Hectorios is another. But you aren't as good. Naketas is another. Excellent. Mustafa, the giant physician, is the excellent one. So I'll hire you for it. Let's raise some money a bit and let's hold a funeral for my father. A Liberty faction against me. You wanted to be in a council, but you don't have the skills for it. And that's a problem with you. After finishing the latest letter from admin, Deva and Smile, seemed to warn me at last. While this is a success, I'm tempted to use this opportunity to try to get even closer. Time to put my diplomatic skills to the test. She is insulted. Longobards populists. So there's some trade experience. Starting to go up to this way. We have to work on that. Sit tight. Wait a few months and I will hold a funeral for my father. Recently, a dangerous malcontent with the penchant of defamations. We the most wicked tales about my family and lineage across some important courts, including those of my vassal. As my legitimacy is on the line, I need to decide how to deal with the situation. Well, I'm not good at diplomacy, but I'm good at intrigue, as I'm deceitful. So perhaps we should go for this option. Order an assassination attempt. This option has slightly lower base chance of success than the previous one. Success depends on his above average intrigue and martial skills, kind of both. I am deceitful, I am brave. Do it. I'm not like my father, though, with what we're about to do here. Order a hit. How much does it cost for a funeral, by the way? Nephew died sickly, but we can make it back in due time. Check the guests. just want everybody to come. Please wait 1 month till we get the gold. Then we'll hold a magnificent funeral for Sawdan, as I will be the keeper of his body. Unfortunately, my attempt to kill the prick who was spreading lies about my lineage was not successful. In a very unprofessional job, my hit squad was killed by a mob that came to protect the target. In the end, this murder attempt just became another pebble in a long list of heavy stones that brings down my legitimacy. I am surrounded by idiots. We'll get that legitimacy back via funeral. Now, Salerno is to be Sawdan's final resting place. I'm left alone to gather my thoughts and prepare for the arrival of the honored mourners. I'll never forget him. And bearing in mind, in Sunnism, the funerary tradition is a Stoic burial, which is usually applied to all of the Abrahamic faiths, which uniquely the only one that doesn't do that is Celtic Christianity, that does bewailing burial instead. They formed the Kingdom of Sicily, a separate kingdom of Sicily away from Italy. You are not an involved ruler. So he thinks he has the right to... allied with Potenza. I wonder why you're feeling bold. If I try to get rid of you, if you committed a crime, this new kingdom up north will intervene. And Gaeta joined them, and no doubt Salerno will too. Again, this changes everything. But first, let's not talk about politics and talk about the funeral, as guests are coming. Courtiers just approached me, claiming he has discovered the continued legitimacy of my lineage is at risk unless I take action. He's offered to provide everything he knows, including names and evidence, as a gesture of goodwill. Very generous indeed. Learn details of this unknown secret. After examining the documents I received from him, it becomes clear that my cousin, Hime, was actually sired by VIET. Was not the cousin, heir to Nafusa. I betrayed. Funeral hasn't started. We're still awaiting more guests. You're not gonna get it. There's a way to offset that. Already skimming it. Yo. Let's take her for example. Because I would like to learn the Longobards language of theirs. Just to have that penalty reduced. Because I don't know their language. days left. So, right before we stop, who wasn't able to make it in time? Doesn't say, but as far as rank, you're there. And the other Walis. So the most notable ruler is, the one from the the one who is my uncle. Yes. He is here. Helped each other out and restored the land of Nafusa. Back to the way it was. You were there since the beginning. Which gives me a thought, because knowing that I have to mourn, perhaps that we should befriend. We don't see each other eye to eye, Uncle, because you're a different kind of Muslim, you're honest, you're deceitful. Try to befriend him while we're here. Engage in bathing of the body. Mourners gather to bathe the body of the deceased and shroud it entirely with white linens. Before me, feasting tables stocked have all manner of food and drink, as if Emir Sawdan of Mari was trying to offer a final act of magnanimity before party. Ajilid Zawgin of Har so far refused to lay a finger on the banquet, however, swilling his goblet around idle salts. His middle-distant state falls warily upon me, and with a quiet nod he raises the drink on. To Emir Sawdan of Mari, truly one of the greats. Tell us what he really meant to you, Uncle. Half-brother imprisoned. Zion. So that means he won his war. What kind of meat is this? So rich in flavor, one of these vegetables almost sweet. Oh, and these wonderful little desserts. This feast some of the best food I've ever tasted. Heavenly delights. Life free of firm. Medium health boost. Yes. Commoner in the Longobards had been accosted in the streets of Salerno with some minor offense. By making a statement in our defense, perhaps I could convince my men the equally Longobardo of my good character. I might risk alienating my Siculo-Arabic peers. I'll say Siculo-Arabs are a moral superior fiber. Time has now come to commit Emir Sawdan of Mari's final rites, or his final journey into hereafter. Sawdan's enshrouded body is held suspended above an open grave, surrounded by close friends and family. Stood at his head is me, a privileged place of mourning afforded only to a magnanimous host. To see him surrounded by so many mourners and given a proper Ashari burial gives me hope that perhaps I too will be remembered as fondly as Emir. At last, his body is lowered to the earth, and a funeral is officially completed with a prayer. Beautiful. I legitimacy, piety up. While the attempt to befriend failed, but still, that's good. Right, now that I got you swayed on my side, at least temporarily, I would like to learn your language. because I need it. Chivalric dominance for knight effectiveness. As the opinion of Combatibility potential about me is very low, it has progressively devolved into deeper hatred and now rivalries start to form. Somebody to keep an eye on. Soon I became aware of rumors emanating from my council or my dynasty's renown, with Overhaul being spread about the capabilities of managing my realm. After a cursive private investigation, I was able to pinpoint the guilty counsel, but I suspect Malik, tax collector, is behind this scheme. My diplomacies are good, but I'll say time to accuse Malik, because I'm deceitful, will imprison him without proof. Together, more individuals probably innocent in order to partly avoid a renowned loss. Of course, there are other issues. Don't forget that high dread and tyranny can also lead to murder attempts on the character. Subjects will not look at me highly, but this has to be stopped. New tax collector. Okay, we have no choice but to compromise. Well, not really, because I don't want that man on the council. Knowing that you're callous, but yet you're forgiving, I'm not quite sure what should be. You're very cool, very forgiving, but we haven't used countermeasure, something that we never used in this new playthrough before. Countermeasure focus. When you suspect that a scheme is targeting you, you can do something about it by directing all your defenses against one type of scheme at the cost of others. Because of this, only one can be active at a time. Strengthening defenses in one area involves drawing attention away from another. It can also be used to reduce secrecy, or just success chance of different groups of schemes. They may buy you time to show up your defenses, but come with drawbacks mean you do not want to have one active at all times. Ooh. All these negative modifiers. Really don't want to have a lower general opinion. But I think you'll discover in time. I have confidence in you. Soon after I'd taken my dinners, I was prepared to attend a religious ceremony close to my cosmo. God damn it, mine. It was swift to catch my attention. As things stand, it seems the assassination attempt on my person was prevented at the last minute by my spies. The assassin played with his life, and it is clear the motivation for this murder attempt was the dread I inspired in her. Also, I'm going to report. Magnificent job. Spies were able to foil the action may well cause my demise. Chances have it depends positively on my man of very high intrigue, which she does. Only something better than 17 qualifies for a bonus. And on being a schemer, my own high intrigue, better than 11. Yes, and negatives for all that. As I'm about to be faced with my death, I might be understandably shaken depending on my personality traits. But I'm brave, so you don't scare me. Sicilian frontier raid, and Potenza's with them. Oh, you started it. Yes. I would look to improve relations, but I need to learn your language first. Which data countermeasures they said anything about faster language learning? No. We are going more towards imperiality. If this keeps up. Remember, it's only a frontier raid. Once they get it, they win. The last fortnight I've been afflicted with such pounding migraines. When they hit, my vision seemed to shrink. All sight and light winnowing out, so there's a small quarter of the world left to me. Forever at the edge of focus, underscored by a wellspring of pain. Allah clearly finds my suffering amusing, for the attacks are alarmingly regular. Ah, my head. Perhaps I should take it easy. I woke up with sore lips, experiencing vomits, persistent cough, and extreme lack of energy. Probably just passing out, but it's always nagging possibly being something far worse. That's what that was. Just had a moment and I became ill. Almost as if I'd never been sick in my life. They raided the place. Rival taken prisoner. Don't let him go. Kill the bastard. Unless I have to do it myself. I mean, he's got low intrigue. I'd be more than willing to murder him. But it's said to be difficult. But of course, you gotta pick your agents. If you know any of them back in there, which most of them do not take a liking of me, but you'd be hard pressed. I'm all good. The schism of Islam was triggered in its early days and has by now turned into an open rebellion that questions the legitimacy of the Abbasid Caliph. The Shia have gathered enough strength to openly state their allegiance to Abdullah, which has opened the gates for the more proud zealots to join in our ranks. The consequences of schism can already be felt, and a new denomination has already gained a foothold within Persia. A storm is gathering in Africa, one that the city caliph can't afford to ignore. So, the Fatimids have risen across the sea. They're there now. I could convert the Shias on, but why would I want to do that? There's no Shia presence over here. We don't know any Shia around here. So the infighting begins. But if they dare step foot in Sicily, we're gonna have a problem. Plot armor, obviously. That's part of the historic invasions mod. Which is why you've been seeing these events over and over. They'll be taking at whatever they see. Stay safe, Uncle, if they set eyes upon you. Since they did not utilize the full force of Sicily, we should consider doing a frontier raid of our own too. While surveying the market streets, I encountered a distressed Mutasib Nasir, attempting to enforce market regulation amongst peddlers. Disorderly arrangements, oil beside mosque doors, unskinned rabbits, and cheese and bulls. By Allah, you all better listen to me right now. The Mutasib should be punishing market transactions with violence if necessary, or he's being ignored by the greed-blinded merchants. What can I do to aid him? that's it, polite Castro. Keep that one in mind. I'll say, intervene in a manner and threaten the Colacati. Muta save correct the path of misguided merchants. Kata punishes them according to their judgment. So, it's 25% chance that the merchants obey my word but remain unconvinced. Inefficient market oversight. 75% chance I resolve the situation in a civil manner. Agreeable compromise. Vigilance of the local mutasib is helping to make transactions easy and trustworthy. You got it, but no creation of the stronghold. Should be our turn too. Let's raid them. Over in Sarno. It's just you and me. I'll lead. But keep in mind, it's mountainous terrain, so it'll be a bit dangerous, but these archers will shoot it down. And we do have some good fighting men along with us. Some, not a lot. Let's get started. It's a fort level 4. You can't do anything about it. You will not interfere. And plus we need the money when we loot the place. Money to have improvement of the regimental clearance to a quartermaster's office. Reduce the men and arms maintenance more. So perhaps sooner or later it... What are you doing? You chose seafarers over my bosom? How dare you? All the more reasons why we should spread that Siculo-Arabic culture to be the majority. So I'll be the culture head, not you. When I get more prestigious, I aim to change that. Seafarers. Trade port line abilities, increase control growth. Okay, I'll give you that. Increases levies and size of men in arms. Sail on major rivers, okay. Challenge as the house head. Alright, little brother. I'll be willing to ally with you. I'd be willing to intervene. Seems we encounter no resistance. My dear brother, my troops could be very useful in your conflict. We need to only agree a price. Under colonization phase, you can offer military assistance. So I get to pay to Eugenius. He'll join me. If I say no, I'll say no. We got this. Oh, I don't need your help, Eugenius, you antagonist. I remember you. I exit my tent. Siege camp sprawls up before me. A jumble of tents and carts and tangled alleyways. Spearix flags, bearing Heldrick birds are spread across barren crags. Cut timbers lay stacked like a wall outside the tents. My low retainers approach as forms the siege is ended. I got up my bodyguards hedge camp. Sagnoria of Sarno stands for me. A canyon of shattered walls. In the fields between, a dead line heaped in massive piles. Makeshift defenses to the onslaught of arrows. In the sky, a flock of crows rises a black cloud, circling overhead. Grieving windows king pierces the acrid air. and imprison everyone you see. And allow limited looting. The thought has been playing in my mind due to these times of war the realm is experiencing. As things stand, I might attempt to form a new contingent of levies by increasing the range of the normal draft age and adding a lot of common criminals to receive a pardon, in order to improve the number of troops available for my armies. These radical policies come at a significant cost of prestige and piety, but it can be portrayed as desperate and callous measures, but the possibility is tempting. It is a path I will not tread. Even though I'll gain a bit of stress for that just this once. Damn, this place is fortified over there. Rather than more. 4, 5. Stay here in the mountains. Guard here. You want? Pay up. Keep it going. Ah yes, the popular opinion. I'm trying to fix that by first learn the language. Do not fight long wars. That lowers popular opinion as well. That's why we should resort to do frontier raids. My informants, led by Gudeliva, told me to avoid being seen in public in the next weeks, as agitators have been fanning the flames of hate with my commoners and peasants. My men told me these are major issues in my personality, my day-to-day behavior that causes the populace to revolt against me and threaten my life. It seems this time escaped, but next time might have an unpleasant, dangerous surprise. A magnificent job. They all want to bring me down. That's all you got. Excellent. Now we can afford this. It'll be 5 years' time. But trust me, the men-at-arms maintenance would be cheaper. We're not fighting any major wars unless it's defensive. If we do fight wars, it should be mainly with Sicilian raids. Sicilian frontier raids. No battles to be fought here. So I guess it appears that Sicily has a weak military. That's why they never opposed us. 90 legitimacy, another reason to keep the legitimacy going up. 65 gold, good. As it's been recently looted. Control lowered. 32% chance an Arab-Berber stronghold will be found there. Border county raided, but no stronghold. There's no peasant revolt, but it's populist fault. It's 2 weeks to still send an ultimatum. But at least we still got some money left over. Sure. Thank you. Now what's going on down there? Sicilian Catholic uprising. Maghreb conquest. Over there. In the what the heck? The Ethnicities is ran by rabbinic Jews. How did this happen? I assume it's caused by whatever stress event, and he decides to say that, hey, he's Jewish now. And of course this causes trouble with everyone. A holy war that you started. against him to take all of the Kingdom of Maghreb. Good luck. Good luck. That's all I gotta say to you. Miletos has gained its independence after winning the... So Calabria, out of all the places, like Mari experienced, an unfortunate, uprising there. But surprisingly, the popular opinion is still rather lowered. Pirate infestation. Did you get rid of the pirates? No, they haven't. They might one day. Fortunately, here is the most stable. Told you, father thought Salerno highly compared to Bari and Calabria. So there was a populist uprising, and then now there's another, which makes Calabria an unstable frontier, which he might lose all. Which makes me want to come down there and deal with this myself. You want your help? I mean, it's a defensive war. So, if my war contribution leads 100 when the war ends, he'll pay me money. You have little gold, yes. I'd be willing to come. Let me raise the armies early in advance, just to get ahead of you. Let me help you and bail you out of this. What do you say? I offered you assistance, but I guess he said no. No then, I guess. Yeah. Guess he declined. You're gonna regret this. You'll be losing your land for that. Whereas I'll try to maintain this here frontier and a feast. I am not sure about this because the man is my rival and he invites me to a feast. But he's got low intrigue. If he thinks what I think he's gonna be doing, I'll see right through it. I'll see right through what he's planning. And I do have the skills to defend my life if need be. Alright. You'll be the guest of honor. I have a feeling he's either going to kill me or humiliate me. But I'll be there. None of you are good. Get me a forest guide and well, bring some extra cattle. Just want to be there fast. Bring your bodyguards. I'll be there. I'm gonna regret this. I do need to guard both my back as well as my food during this visit. Scomadal is a treacherous creature. We shall see about that. Which, matter of fact, I'm gonna kill that man. I'm trying to do the sometimes harsh environments because invigorating effects, or at least a state of my mind, I'm under. As I glance over at Henry, he does not appear to be doing quite as good. Mood is labored, his breathing. Heavy. Spontaneous burst called ripple through his body. Clearly he's not well. Can you treat him? The servants run across the hall, bringing the final decorations. Some of the guests are yet to arrive, and I indulge myself with a delicious drink by the fire. I cannot wait for that knave to make a fool of himself. I spot Court in the Comite Atenov among the crowd, totally unaware of my plan to murder him. Because I fear he might murder me. Not if I get him first. Can't wait to go home. Watch your back. See what happens, as banquet will begin soon. Every guest is gathered in the great hall, and our abhorrent host, Courtiers, is finally welcome us all to the feast. This better be worth my time. Oh boy, he's making me an honored guest. He might make things worse, but as I said, not if I get him first. I do have the intrigue skill almost as good as my marshal. There's ways to bring him down. This better be worth my time. On the outside, Christopher Pavlos been chatting amicably now for many hours now as they continue on our trip. The two of them seem to be getting along quite well for each other. They can be fast friends. However, what started as ordinary feast became an exceptional thanks to the presence of Compatibility. We spoke all evening about all manner of subjects and things, and we seem to have a lot in common. That's such a good dining room. What a good evening. Okay, we're enjoying each other's company. So far. We shall see about that. It's a rare person who can go an entire feast without needing to at least a little time outside, away from the hubbub, even only to relieve themselves. Fortunately for me, going down to Nova is no exception. From a nearby alcove, I watch as he wanders along the edge of a lake close to the walls. My blackjack clutched in his hand. I just need to hit him hard enough that he is stunned, and water will take care of the rest. It even looked like an accident. I've got the element of surprise, so if the plan goes awry, bolting in time shouldn't be a problem. Sadly, it won't take much questioning for Ethnicities to notice my suspicious absence. Although I recall he had a modifier. What's no longer there now? That, he says that swimming techniques. No, you must do it. You are brave. A sturdy blow, a firm push hand. 85% chance he becomes stunned and crumbles beneath the water. 14% the Talbot was still conscious and got the secret attempted murder. And he will not look at me highly. Plus, he's got the intrigue skill of 2, so he's screwed either way. Knock him out. Oh, shit. The Talbot was still conscious. I got a secret. Attempted murder. He doesn't know that I just, you know... Damn! What right does Courtiers, not enough thinks he has a claim to my ideas of warfare and misguided. Claiming to my ideas would break down the moment combat is met. What does he know, really? I would love the chance to settle this on the battlefield. At least he showed that he was able to defend my understanding of muscle. So I gained discussions on strategy for the next 5 years. He'll be turning my nemesis if this keeps up. I have a feeling he's going to get me now. After copious amounts of food and drink to consume, I find my rival, vassal Courtiers, in the middle of a loud conversation. He turns to me as soon as he knows my presence. And you! Your mere presence fouls everything this evening. Oh, yeah? You're nothing but a heartless fiend. I'm a brave man. I don't back down from words and slander. 68% chance I win a fight against him, wounding him. 32% that he wins the fight and I get wounded. And I had a good fight. How about you? I wounded him, as you can see. And he's recovered from his wounds. He's been treated. Damn! As the feast which to its inevitable conclusion, there's one event remaining that everyone is expecting. Let's Compatibility host as guest of honor, me. However, instead of praising me like he promised with an invitation, he launches into a vitriolic diatribe, questioning my character, my intelligence, and my personal hygiene at length. I'll remember this. Daylight pours through the windows, and just one more, the whole hall becomes illuminated. Most of the seats are now empty. Some servants hand me my weapons and take their leave of the cheery bun. What a pleasure it was to have you with us, smiles. What a feast before my clothes were slack and ill-fitting, and now I staggered out of his hall twice full of food and merriment. Right. That was a feast I will struggle to forget. But I shall depart. You son of a bitch. Ha! Maybe perhaps I'll invite you to my feast. I'll make it better than yours. I know what to do. Hold on. There's gotta be a better way to do this. By the way, you have any animal hunting sightings in your area? Because I haven't seen any lately. Because what I would have loved to do is to say, hey, would you like to come to a hunt? And then I'll shoot him out in the woods. No, please. Please, man. But remember, if you want to have a murder feast properly, you gotta have the Forever Infamous perk as part of the intrigue perk tree. It's a lot cheaper to hold a feast in Salerno these days because this is a home of the manor houses. You'll be the honorary guest, so it's an offer that you can't refuse. And plus, prestige gain. And a great opinion gain for just about anybody that wishes to come here. Well, I get to murder that bastard. Second attempt. Ah, Uncle, he'll come. I'll tell you what, after I murder him, maybe there is enough time to switch the intent to try to befriend my uncle again, so we can still have relations. Our connections, familial connections between us. Despite the fact we can't negotiate alliance, but maybe with improved relations we can work things out. Yeah, let's end this episode with this whole feast. Once the feast ends, episode over. I'm willing to spend a fortune to make a much better feast here in Salerno, where the manor houses are cheaper here. It'll take months for them to get here. Take your time. Emir of Al-Jawaf has announced to the world that he and his vassals converted to Quranism. Having become disillusioned with the teachings of the Ashari priests, the nobles of Al-Jawaf no longer consider the clergy to be righteous and true. As Quranists, they believe that new faith probably aligns with the will of Allah, and they're distancing themselves from a foreign religious institution. What twistery of what twist mockery of our faith is this? That's deep in Arabia, so you shouldn't be too concerned. Alright, learn the vernacular language. I feel accomplished. And with learning that language, that will cause the popular opinion to be increased, so we won't have much cultural acceptance penalty, but it's 50% less now that I speak their tongue, thus making populist uprisings less likely. All but one. But over time, they'll come to respect me, with higher legitimacy these days. Look at me, holding a hunting knife, knowing what I'm going to do next. Damn. He was a good one. Yikes. Possessed. Hey, now that there's time, since you're the new one here, would you like to come to the feast? We're getting there. Once you get up to 50, we can recruit the soldiers not from the strongholds, but from foreigners to come over here and serve in our military. Eugenius, where are you? What are you doing up there? Oh, it's probably a tournament he took part. Yeah, knew it. He's about to lose Calabria as a whole. Who here hasn't arrived? All but one, I assume. Everyone's present. And Uncle, now that you're here. My cousin is set to rule itself. Alright. Guests are gathered in the great hall, lords and ladies from near and far reaches of the realm. I must admit to not being able to bring my weapons to attraction and appeal to celebration. Mood is bright, spirits are high as the feast begins. Welcome, friends. I'm gonna get you! Second chance. My miserable acquaintance coming to out enough sneers as I stumble outside to relieve myself. The anger that's already boiling in my veins gains a devastating moment as he walks towards me. Look who it is! The cocky cur Stephanos, I bet you, just as I sink my blade into Atanos. Places, I hear a soft gasp from behind me. Someone saw it. Oh yeah, he's one of the tax collectors, like potential tax collectors that we brought over. A witness. As I'm diligent, I say, talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. No loose ends. Now, see if I can befriend my uncle. Ha ha ha! Wow. I got the bastard. And it's taking much of the evening to get myself closer to Edge. I was out again without making feel forced to, after all. Best friendships are natural, and I want him to think this is spontaneous. The man gently dabs at the corner of his mouth with the corner of his soiled tablecloth, brushing away crumbs of flaky pastry. I just hope that the next course is a bit lighter. The whole point of the feast is to provide a rich culinary experience. So this has felt more like trying to starve us than to excite us. Yes, Saturday was just a poor choice, I think. 36% chance I charm out already and becomes my friend. 64% chance that it's not that fun. You're fun, but not that fun. As plate after plate of food spawn in a great hall, an unmistakable smell reaches me. And I smell that my insatiable sister-in-law, Emir, is sensitive to lemon. Something I sadly forgot to tell the cook. I bid you all welcome, and I pray you'll find a food to your liking. The face I savor from food is definitely to my liking. What am I going to do with a hook on her? As he's the wife of my half-brother who's about to lose most of Calabria. The great table was sitting up in nobility, and it does give a loud crack. A moment later gave way under the weight of food and gilded decoration. As a most distinguished guest, I had to be fitted among the lower nobility. I ended up close to my uncle. As high nobles mingled with their lessers, words of both friendship and enmity were exchanged among people who rarely associate. So again and I, talking up all evening, agreed it should not be the last time we feasted and laughed at each other's company. What a great night! He does become my friend for this. Bonded after eating, drinking, and talking during the feast. And as you know, I don't have an honored guest because I killed the bastard. So we'll just say a final toast to everyone. Or no one. Alright. As my guests leave, it seems to depart a good spirit. I'm also relieved to say goodbye, but does not depart without saying farewell. We both know that we'll be seeing each other again soon. What a woman. Maybe I should befriend you. Though you're a bit paranoid, but honestly, we're getting along. Few candles survive after the last of the guests left. I can hear the pair of servants letting out sighs of relief as the doors close. The food is still warm on the ceramic plates. Soon, word will reach every corner of the realm, and every notable worth their salt will know my magnificent son's parallel. With everyone headed home with their bellies full of exotic delicacies, I'm proud to say that the feast was a success. Nevertheless, I'm still grateful that the endeavor is over for now. And with that, it's all done. Now that is a great banquet. Popular opinion up for Salerno, and more development growth for Salerno in these farmlands here. Wine, ale, and fine food. What better relief from the troubles of the world than there is a night of revelry? As each feast ends, I find myself planning the next. Wonder who will come. Intrigue up a bit. I shall be your eager reveler. He sampled the intoxicating life of carousing and debauchery and is hungry for more. I should be doing those more often. It does increase your diplomacy and intrigue. Hostile scheme success chance up. Yeah. Yeah, killed a man. 2 men, in fact. So I killed the guy I wanted to kill, killed a witness, and made a friend with my uncle, which we should negotiate an alliance as you're on your way back. So I can intervene on what could be going on over there. As there is a new realm that's threatening everyone. Yeah, they're on their way. Should we be worried? Because, you know, if they turn towards Sicily and establish Shia Islamic presence there, then we have trouble. Oh, brother. Brother. Fortunately, there are some Greeks still loyal to you in these parts. But if you want to reclaim those lands that you've lost, I'd be willing to help. But next time, they shall pay with, I was about to say frontier raid? No, forced vassalization. Or conquest. Preferably the latter, conquest. So we shall think about, you know, going down to Calabria to try to right some wrongs or take it for myself. So that'll be it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. As this is a new era, and this era was a bit of a rough one. But at least this next one, despite the much lowered opinion, we may have a better cooperation between us, hopefully. We'll see you in the next episode, but until then, so long for now.